failed 8 classes when I was in law school. I'm going to share with you 3 things that I was worried about as a law school that ended up not mattering now that I'm a lawyer. I failed 8 classes, but I got 3 HDs by my last semester, but I still became a lawyer. So this is another episode of Law and Law School Unpacked and Unfiltered, where I either unpack or unfilter something in law, and we are going to unpack today. First thing is definitely not knowing everything. I can't talk and do this at the same time. I was in law school, like I didn't have the best grades, so I definitely felt really bad that I didn't know everything so well, and it got me questioning. It got me thinking, like, if I don't know everything on the spot in law school, how can I expect that I will know everything when I become a lawyer? But here's the thing, when you are a lawyer, you are still learning as you go. There are still things that you will need to research. There will be things that you still need to Google. There are still things that you need to check in with your college to make sure that it's correct. And when you're a lawyer, you do this thing called continuing professional development, which means you go to webinars, seminars, you do training where you are learning. I know that law school exams make you feel like you need to know everything once you go into practice, but that's 100% not the case. A lot of the knowledge that I have now in my practice of law, I have learned outside of law school. I have learned on the job. I have learned through all the training, all the seminars that I have been doing. Second thing, maybe a little bit controversial, but your grades. Keep in mind, I'm not talking about, getting a job. They look at your academic transcript, they're going to be looking at your grades. I'm talking about like when you are actually working in a law firm, you got the job already, you're working as a lawyer, your grades that you got in law school isn't going to matter anymore. Because like what I said earlier in the first point, you're not expected to know everything, because of course you're going to still be learning every single day on the job while you are doing your job, while you're doing any sort of training you're doing, your CPD. So yes, grades may be important to some law firms when you are applying for the job. When you are actually in the job, it ends up not mattering from my perspective, because you still, all the training that you do, all the skills that you build come from doing the job rather than the academics. That's just my opinion. The third thing is, if you didn't do any sort of competition like mooting, client interviews, or mock trial. I did mooting, mock trial, all of those law school competitions during my first year, but things got so busy in my second and my third year and onwards that I just never did them again. I remember when I was looking for my law grad role, I was like wondering, like, should I have done more mooting, more mock trial experience? Like, it would have been really good in like real life when I do become a lawyer. But you already get that practice when you do the practical legal training, aka the PLT. Because a huge chunk of the PLT is doing oral assessments, which reflect what you do in real life, like negotiations, mediations, client interviews, hearings. Don't get me wrong, like, law school competitions can be really good, like really good